Earlier on this year. But earlier this week, a man was convicted of grooming youngsters after being trapped not by the police but by internet vigilantes posing as young girls. Now, one of Britain's leading sex crime and child protection experts has called for more vigilantes to form a volunteer army of 1,000 digital detectives managed by police. So that's what he's called them, Gloria, digital detectives. But essentially they are vigilante groups. Do you think that they're a good idea?
Well, I see it from both points of view, because on one hand I could argue and say it's such a staggeringly huge problem worldwide that anything that will bring a paedophile to book and ultimately to prison or to pay for it is good. You could argue that on one side. However, I would worry about amateur vigilantes making it into a kind of a witch hunt. And there's one classic case about in a certain street where a group of people heard that a paedophile was living at the other end, and they went and broke windows or did what they did to the house, attacked the house, and it turned out to be a paediatrician.
Yeah.
So that got really out of sync.
Yeah.
But the problem is, for me, is that I just feel that this should be done under police structure. I mean, I would say that maybe volunteer vigilantes could form a group of volunteers within the police, within their offices or wherever they can house them.
Or with some sort of
with a structure, so that there's some guidance rather than just this willy-nilly thing.
I think that's actually what he has suggested. He's actually said that they should be sort of registered volunteers working from within a police station.
But worldwide, they're not working within a police station, are they? And they're bringing thousands to book. But I just would be worried about it. But I can see that some people herald it and say, marvellous that these vigilantes have found these offenders and brought them to court.
I think it's very scary that we're even just saying now these vigilantes, because that word in itself I find is frightening.
Do you think it's the wrong word?
I think it's really easy to get drunk on power. It's really easy to believe that you're when you believe that you're fighting for what is right, then I think any one of us could start excusing all sorts of behaviour, and so I mean I'm sure that we will agree that there's part of it on paper. When you hear it, you go, God, yeah, that's brilliant. That's something that could really be done. And I almost felt excited when I read about this here, because we all feel so powerless. And as the problem gets bigger and bigger, and of course we know very well there are not the resources, and there never are going to be in any police forces across the world to deal with it. So we're going to grab it with both hands, but we've just got to be so careful, because, I mean, say you get somebody that's really damaged, for instance, that's had that sort of... I don't know if anyone watched Broadmoor last night on the telly, and you see the impact of what can happen to people's mental health when they've gone through abuse themselves. It's just, we could get into a situation where you've got people that have had horrific lives that aren't quite right to then take on the role of kind of policing, and that could end up in a complete mess.